Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Priyanka and I make videos about life in Germany, studying in Germany, working in Germany, everything that you'd like to know about moving to Germany. So today's topic is very interesting. It's for doctors and how they can move. And it's not just me who's going to give information, but it's coming from ProRecognition, which is a unit from the government of Germany. They fund such activities where they give free consultations to students as well as job seekers. And we have today the head of ProRecognition, Miss Denise Eichhorn, who will be guiding us through all these questions and also letting us know how we can take advantage of these services and stay away from scams, because I get so many messages on Instagram that some person got scammed due to some agent or consultancy. They took their money and ran away. And this happens a lot when you're moving abroad. So that's why I'm trying to bring organizations to you which are genuinely doing good work, and you can be sure of the authenticity of information that you get there. And it's coming directly from the head of ProRecognition. So let's talk to her first and get an introduction. So Denise, welcome today, and thank you so much for agreeing for this interview. Would you say some lines about you and ProRecognition?
Sure. Thank you, Priyanka, for having me. It's a pleasure to record this with you today. As you mentioned, the process of migrating to Germany is complicated and it's sometimes a little bit long. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. So what we want to do is also clean up any kind of misunderstanding, misinformation about migrating to Germany. What we do in ProRecognition is we were set up to consult regarding recognition of qualifications for Indian professionals who want to work in Germany. And this is one part of the migration process for a lot of people. And we also realized that a lot of things around the topic of migrating, where we also support with information, where we support with giving out knowledge for free, that people are well informed before they go to Germany and know how to go about it.
Great. So are you only in Pune in India, or are you across various locations?
So we are attached to the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce. We have some colleagues working from Pune. I'm personally working from Mumbai, but we are happy to speak with anyone all across India. I mean, we don't have any kind of requirements that they have to come from Mumbai or Pune. We are welcoming anyone.
Okay, great. So you also provide online consultation as well as offline. Superb. That's very good to know for the audience. Let's start. So today's topic is, can doctors move to Germany? What is the procedure? What is the cost? And I'm glad that I'll get all this information directly from the best source. So let's start with our first question. Can doctors move to Germany with Indian qualifications?
Yes, they can. Yeah. It's important that the Indian MBBS is recognized within India, because that's the base for getting and recognized in Germany.
Okay, so are there specific colleges that that must be recognized, or is it the degree that you check?
The colleges must be recognized by UGC. That's the base that they are recognized in India. And with that justification, you can go to a German authority and can say, look, I have a degree. In India, this is recognized. Please help me recognize it in Germany.
Okay, so what is ProRecognition doing here? Is it a private company?
We are not a private company. So ProRecognition is a project. We are funded by the German Federal Ministry for Education and Research. Yeah. The Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, that is a company in India, and the chamber is the local implementation partner for the project. So we have this project also in other countries. There they are the expert on the respective education system over there. And we are here the experts on the Indian education system, and we primarily help Indians who want to work in Germany.
Okay, so what kind of services do you help with to students as well as job seekers, or whom?
Our main target audience is working professionals. And part of this can be somebody who is maybe finishing their master's and has already a few years of work experience, somebody who has, say, 5 or 10 years work experience, or somebody also who's interested in the job seeker visa. These are all part of people who we consult. We offer a range of different services. They are all connected to migrating in Germany. So as mentioned already, the fundamental heart of what we do is help with the recognition of qualifications. Yeah, this is a prerequisite for most of the visa types. Okay. And we help identifying who's the right authority for you. So depending on the degree, different authorities are responsible. We also tell candidates what kind of documents do you need. So we give them checklists, like this is all that you're going to need during the process. And then whenever there are problems along the way, that's something where we can support. When they get a result, then we can also support, interpret that result and tell them, okay, look, this is what it means when you want to go to Germany. So that's all part of the recognition support that we offer.
Okay, interesting. And how much do you charge for all of these services?
We don't charge anything. As mentioned, we are funded by the Federal Ministry for Education and Research. And because we're funded, we can offer these services free of charge to candidates at the moment. There are also other things that we offer by now because we realized, you can get your qualification recognized, but that doesn't mean you have a job yet. Yeah, and we want the ultimate goal of the project is always getting people to work in Germany. So we also run application workshops where we teach people how to write a CV so that it works for the German job market. We also prepare people for their life in Germany. So we do something like intercultural training or tell people how to integrate in Germany, how to make friends in Germany. These are all things that we developed around the migration topic.
Yeah, that's very interesting, I think, because those are the most common questions that I get, that is my CV suitable for German market, and when I move to Germany, will I be able to adjust there? Will I be left alone? And how to contact, how to talk to Germans, because Germans are generally considered as taken as very reserved people. So how to make friends with them? That is the question that I get the most. So I think that's excellent, the services that you offer. So with the question of doctors, which doctors have a good chance or high demand in Germany?
So there is an overall demand for doctors in all different kinds of specialization. There's an exception for dentists. So dentists are not that high demand in Germany. But you have to keep in mind that even after you undergo the recognition process from India, you still have to undergo residency of 5 to 6 years until you can call yourself as a specialist. So in German, we call this Facharzt.
Okay.
So if you really want to work in Germany as a Facharzt, this is going to be a longer process than a general doctor.
Okay. So for specialists, that is the process for specialists, and for general doctors, I think you can move directly if you show a certificate or give the exam.
The process for doctors is a little bit more lengthy. So first you need to show that what you have learned here as a doctor is comparable to what somebody in Germany has learned as a doctor. Yeah.
Okay.
And you also have to prove a certain level of German. So you normally have to start at least with a B2 certificate in German. That's something you just have to do because, if you want to work as a doctor, it's of course very crucial that you understand 100% what the patient tells you, that you know exactly what they're describing. So for that profession, there are very high expectations towards the German level. Yeah. After this assessment is done and you get an approval that your degree is comparable, you can shift to Germany. You might have to do a knowledge tip test depending on how the recognition went. So if you get a partial recognition, so there's some kind of difference between your degree and the German degree, then you get a deficit notice. And with that, you still have to do a knowledge test in Germany. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
What all candidates have to do is do a language test after they come to Germany. Yeah, so it's really important that they first study German while they're still in India, then do the recognition process, then shift to Germany and get more trained on a very specific medical German, so more vocabulary that you would need in that profession. And then do also language tests where everything is about like how do you work as a doctor, where like the examples in the language test are around patients or patients' problems. So that's a process you definitely have to go through before you are allowed to work as a doctor in Germany.
Okay. So language is the most important part, and then the knowledge test. So when do we prepare for this knowledge test? And how much language level is required before we move to Germany? Is there some basic certificate that you need to show?
You need to show a B2 certificate, and the exam have to be taken by an accepted language school. In most cases, this is going to be a Goethe exam.
Goethe,
yeah. And then the German language test is a C1 level with specific vocabulary. And there are also courses in Germany that you can take that will prepare you for exactly these exams. So that's something you can do after you get a visa to Germany. You can inscribe yourself in one of these courses that either prepare you for the German exam or for the knowledge test. And they really teach you and prepare you for mastering those tests.
Okay. So you need to go for some special courses Oh, to prepare for
Exactly.
this knowledge
Yes.
test. What is the exact German term for this?
The knowledge test is called Kenntnisprüfung and the language
Kenntnisprüfung.
test is called Fachsprachenprüfung.
Okay, okay, got it. Are there any charges for these tests, or where should you
Um,
register for them?
Yes, so there will be charges for that. The whole process also costs money. So you start with getting your qualification recognized. Here you might be spending 500 to 1,500 euros because you might need some translation. Depends also on where the state that you're going, what kind of translation you need. So there's always like a variability in what you are actually going to spend. The knowledge test will cost you also 500 to 1,000 euros, and the language test is slightly cheaper with 400 to 600 euros. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are additional costs also for these preparatory courses. They are, of course, not mandatory, but they are helpful for most people before
Yeah.
they can pass the exam. And those preparatory courses can cost 1,500 to 5,000 euros.
Oh, wow.
But there are options of getting this funded in Germany. So the German government sees that there's a demand for doctors, so they want to support people going through the process. So there are funding options to getting those courses partially paid by the German government or fully paid, depending on where you are and what your status is.
So these preparatory courses, can they be done in India, or you need to go to Germany to do them?
They are only done in Germany.
Okay.
This also makes a lot of sense because you need to be fluent in the German language, and you will only reach this level if you're, fully immersed in the language when you hear German at every corner where you go. So that's really helpful for actually picking up the language in a fluent level.
Okay, great. So first do B2 in India, and then move to Germany for the preparatory courses, then give the Kenntnisprüfung and Fachsprachenprüfung, and after that you can apply for being maybe
Medical
approbation,
license. Yes.
medical license, which is called approbation. Okay, great.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the process. That's now I understood it better. Thank you for that. And
Sure.
one more question: if doctors want to approach you, how can they do so?
The easiest way is to go to our website, ProRecognition.in. Yeah. There you see a big sign saying book consultation, and that's where you can get in touch with us. You can register there for individual consultation. You can also check out our events site. We do travel around India to do information events, to meet candidates who are in the process. So check if maybe we're coming to your area anytime soon. And otherwise, you can also reach out to us by email or by calls, and we'd be happy to answer any kind of question in the area for migrating to Germany.
Okay, great. What documents should they get when they book a consultation? So what would you see?
You definitely need the degree that you have from India. Yeah, so whatever that university gave you. We would recommend get in touch with us first. We can help you see the process. We can also help you decide on where you want to go to Germany. So that's also something where we can support you deciding between different regions.
Okay.
And then we will brief you what documents you need. Yeah. So at the beginning, we will just request you for CV and maybe your degree certificates. Yeah. And then from there, we'll take it further and tell you exactly what documents you need, how they are supposed to look like, where you need to get a stamp or maybe the station done. That's something we can all brief you in step by step.
Okay. You said that you brief about location also. So does it differ when I choose Bavaria state instead of Berlin or Brandenburg state? How does it differ for a doctor? Like for IT professional, it doesn't differ. Like you can go absolutely anywhere. So how is that important for a doctor choosing the right state?
Right. There are, for example, differences in the recognition process. So first, there's, of course, capacities. So some states are very popular, so there you have to wait way longer for your recognition application to come through than in other states. So this can be a factor. Then there are also some states who would accept your application if you have, say, an earlier B1 level, or you can start the application process without having the B2 certificate yet. So this might also make it easier for you. Yeah. And then we also see a lot of people coming to us saying like they have heard great things about this state. They have friends in that state. They know that there are job opportunities over there. So this is also something that influences the decision where people want to go.
Okay, okay. And also the exam, is it different for different states when you register for it, or how is that?
It doesn't get easier. So
Okay.
some states offer more support for the preparation. So,
Mhm.
for example, in Berlin, you can speak to your examiners before the exam, and you can find out a little bit more. For example, what is their specialty, what is something they're interested in, which gives you more chances to prepare for the exam. Yeah, it's not the case in every state. But it's not going to be like one state is going to be easy and the other state is going to be difficult. That's not the case.
Okay, so what is the timeline for this whole process of moving? So, if I'm a doctor, I finished my degree this
Right.
year, my MBBS, and I want to move
Mm-hmm.
to Germany. So, when can I expect to get a B2 certificate, to do the Kenntnisprüfung, to move to Germany, like, and become a doctor in Germany? So, how many steps are there, and how does the timeline look like? How many years?
Okay, yes, right. Let's say you are very new to the game, you start learning German. From an A1, A2, B1, B2 level, you would invest at least a year of just learning the German language. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then let's start with the recognition process. You probably take a few weeks to put all documents together,
Mhm.
and then you submit your application. We would expect a minimum of 3 months up to 6 months for the application of recognition to be processed. This is unfortunately quite long at the moment. I know a lot of authorities in Germany are trying to increase their capacities. So me saying this now, maybe this is going to change and get much better in the future. That's what I hope for, that everybody, employs more people to do those recognition processes and
Yeah.
would be able to turn around them quicker, but no guarantee for that. Then you can apply for visa for, again, like I would calculate 2 to 3 months for that. Then you can go to Germany, study the German language, do the Fachsprachenprüfung. I would expect at least 3, 4, 5 month preparation and then doing the exam, and then another maybe 4 or 5 months for doing the Kenntnisprüfung. Again, to complete the Fachsprachprüfung and the Kenntnisprüfung, we see differences between the candidates. Some are, very eager to get done quickly with it.
Mhm.
Some are taking it more slowly. Maybe they already have a part-time job
Yeah.
where they can also, practice a little bit, maybe work as an assistant.
Mhm.
So this depends on the individual candidates. All I would expect, you should calculate at least 2 years from not knowing any German to being completely done, rather longer. Yeah, there are delays
Okay.
every now and then. Also depending on your personal situation. Maybe you are very talented in German, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a lengthy process, definitely.
Okay, language learning takes the most part, but can it be done
Yes.
parallelly, language learning and the recognition process? Because maybe we save 6 months there.
That depends on the state that you apply for. Yeah, there are some states who require you to submit the done certificate, and there are some states where you can already apply for the recognition while you're still in the course.
Okay, okay. Can you name these states?
Not by heart, no. I think I have some ideas. No, I won't name them right now because they might change in the future. So they might change
Okay,
their requirements.
okay. It's important to keep
So
checking the requirements of
yeah,
every state.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay, sounds good. But you also said that they can do part-time jobs. So, with what kind of visa is this? And is part-time job or maybe observatorship, whatever it is called? So, is that allowed and is it paid?
Yes, so after you complete the Fachsprachenprüfung, you are allowed to work as an assistant in Germany. For example, as a doctor, you can work an assistant while you prepare for the Kenntnisprüfung. So you are technically not allowed to work on the patients by yourself, but you are allowed to work as an assistant in a part-time role.
Okay, and it's a paid job.
Yes.
How much can a student expect to earn that?
This is a question I'm not able to answer confidently. I would expect a normal part-time role, like something like 400 euros.
Okay, okay, good to know. What is the total cost that a medical candidate would have to bear for all of this? I think even the living cost in Germany, that also gets added later once you get the
Right.
visa.
There's definitely some investment required at the beginning, yeah. So you start with the recognition process, and then when you are in Germany, you need to decide also a little bit how you want to live. The living costs, of course, can vary differ widely between, a
State
very
to state,
luxurious state, like where are you living, what's your apartment scene, all of that is going to come into it. But I would expect at least 3,000 euros to be spent on the legal processes. Yeah. And then, of course, additional money for your living costs in Germany while you prepare for the exams. And also the flight to Germany, I think, is also one of the bigger costs that you would have to calculate into.
Yeah. And I think for students, at least, the living cost is 934 euros per month. So on an average, you can consider 1,000 euros per month as living cost, including your rent and grocery and all the things that you have to do. Okay, so I think we are coming to the end of this very informative session, and I have a last question. Have you had candidates who are scammed by unrecognized agents, and what should people pay attention to when such scams are happening or when they come across such agents?
Right. Yes, we definitely do get inquiries from people who have been scammed, unfortunately. This does happen. There are a lot of black sheeps out there. Of course, before you trust anyone with your documents or say you invest money into this, you should check whether they're legitimate, whether they are actually existing. Is this an incorporated company in India, or is this just the website that you're looking at? It also does make sense to, go visit them in person maybe, and also make sure that they don't promise unrealistic things. So somebody who says you can work in Germany as a doctor within 2 months, this is definitely a scam because it's legally not possible. Yeah. So just have a common sense of saying, like, is this maybe too good to be true? If that sounds like that, then it's probably a scam and you shouldn't trust them.
Okay, sounds interesting. Good. Okay, we are at the end of the session, and I really have better idea of how the process is. The bigger thing, like the cost, because that's the main problem of many people in India. Also, what is expected from me, like the language qualifications, because I have so many doctors writing to me that they want to move to Germany, but they don't focus on language. They don't think about that, and that's the most important part. Because even me, when I'm living in Germany and when I go to a doctor, the doctor doesn't speak English, so it's even difficult for me sometimes to tell what I need, and I need German there. I need to open Google Translate and tell, okay, this means this, pain means Schmerz or whatever, and that stuff. So language is the most important part here, and it takes the longest time. So thank you so much for letting us know about the whole process, Denise.
Most welcome.
Anything extra that you'd want to add or something we missed here?
Just to remark, as you mentioned, language is really important. This is a lengthy process and people have to be mentally prepared to, stick around and go through some downturns. Some things might not work out, or there might be some delays in the process. So you have to really be persistent and dedicated to the idea of working in Germany to make it to Germany all the way.
Yeah, especially visa, that's taking a lot of time these days.
Yeah.
Interesting. Great. So thank you, Denise. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for so much helpful information. And thank you also for letting us know that all this is free. This whole process and the information that you gave, the consulting part, that's free. That's so important for so many people. I hope this video reaches a lot of people, and I'll share it as much as possible from my side. All the best for your efforts. They're really great and helping a lot of people in their careers.
Right. Thanks a lot for having me. It was a pleasure. So nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Let me know, guys, how you like this video, and if you have any extra questions, do let me know in comments. If there are too many questions that are unanswered, I will make a part 2 of this video and get more information to you. Get in contact with Denise and get this forward. So let us know in comments if you like the video, what more questions you have, and if it was helpful for you in your process. See you in my next video. Until next time, bye bye.